Her body, her choice.
Great waves should wash us all away, just thinking out loud. I don't mean to dwell on this dying thing, but look at our blood. It's alive right now, deep and sweet within, pouring through our veins. Oh, intoxicating, moving wine and tears, we're drinking it deeply. On this evening spent dancing as you and me. Oh, never know and open our eyes. On the dark we can speak for something bright, much more than we could ever know. So don't throw the day away. Don't burn the day. Not enough. This blessed sip of life, is it not enough? Staring down at the ground, or complain and pray, God, I need more from above. He's like a greedy little pig. Oh, just watch the world is trickled away. Oh, it's no problem now, 'cause I'll be dead and gone in a few short years. Oh, just love will open our eyes. Only love can put the hope back in our minds, much more than we could ever know. Oh, so don't throw the day away. Don't burn the day. Don't throw the day away. Oh, come on, sister, heroine. Such a lovely evening, staring into space, I must say. But you feel as small as dust lying down here. Oh, what point every traveling? And I'm wondering what will become of me. Why concern we could never see it still there? The only reason to abandon is our time is short. Our lives all right, baby. I'll go out in the middle of the night. Oh, take your hands from your eyes, my love. 'Cause all good things come to an end sometime, yeah. But don't burn the day. Don't throw the day away. Oh, come sister, my brother, take on your bones, take on your feet. I'm saying, open up, let the rain go pouring in, wash our days, tired no storm, and all that. The best is yet to come. 'Cause all while we're dancing on the ground, why think of life when you're gone? 'Cause love, 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 what more is there? All we need is that good light of love in here. Don't beat your head, dry your eyes, let the love in here. There's bad times, but that's okay when you know love in It is always so nice to be here. Thank you very much. You may notice that we are missing one of our family. Up here, Tim, he tested positive yesterday, so he's having a little break. But
Prayers out to Tim Reynolds.
we will miss him.
All right. Hey, let's get that intro going. Hold up. Let me get that intro. What up? What up? On the road again. I can't believe gas prices are still high. On the road again. All right. Intro.
Aria. Okay, so this is Aria, and just tell us a little bit about yourself and about your love for the Dave Matthews Band.
I've been a fan of the band since April 28, 1998, and if you recognize the date, that's when Before These Crowded Streets was released.
Alpine is definitely a better venue than Summerfest, but we'll take it. I think I've been going to shows for about 20 something years.
I always tell people, like, compare DMB to now to when I first started. And I got started, in my opinion, I feel like I got started late. Like, I was at the very end of the band's prime. I feel like that '03 to '06 was like the end of the prime. '07, '08 was like, we're at the very end. And then when Roy passed.
But Dave really, this is the thing. Dave has put, where Sean has been assigned the quarterback of this team. He is the coach, the play caller. He designs the jams. Dave just shows up and plays whatever he's going to play.
All right. It's your boy Conservist 84 on the road. It's a little harder to do that intro with one screen. Thank you guys for being on. I want to talk a little bit about my Deer Creek experience, and then I want to get over to a couple people here waiting patiently to tell us about their experience at the show. And Connor may be able to get you on at the end if you can hang tight. So this was my first Deer Creek experience, and what I'll say is everything outside of the music really impressed me about this venue. Um, I was very, very impressed with a couple of things about this venue. First of all, everyone was extremely nice and generous that I met. And you can't say that all the time about the East Coast. Although there's a lot of great people at the shows, there's always some jerk. And I'm sure maybe there was someone in the pit who was a jerk. But everyone out here, you definitely feel that Midwestern hospitality. I've been to Kansas City before on business back in my StubHub days. I had been to parts of, well, I guess not, that's the South, but same thing. Midwest and South, there's a lot that great hospitality. Um, the venue itself, first thing, walking into the lawn, this venue has a great lawn. Like the lawn is amazing. I don't like a lot of the lawns in the Northeast. Um, if we think about some of the lawns here, you go to first of all, we have to do SPAC. SPAC's lawn is absolute trash. I will never voluntarily be in that lawn. I will, get a loan to get a seat before I'm in the SPAC lawn. I love that venue, but the lawn's horrible. You can't see anything. You're literally watching. It's like back in the day, right? Mike Tyson would have a fight. Let's just say it's at the MGM Garden Arena. You could pay for watch the fight in a conference room at the MGM. That's exactly what the SPAC lawn is. Hartford, the lawn is huge, but there's not a lot of good vantage points. It's very steep, and it's just there's not good sight lines. Same thing with Mansfield. Mansfield's lawn is actually just a half of a lawn. They put seats in the first part of the lawn, and then they like the last part is really high up. But the Deer Creek lawn is the sight lines are great. I have video that I'll be probably putting together at some point for some sort of content of me walking towards the lawn at the end for the last song, You Might Die Trying, and it was phenomenal. The speaker stacks in the lawn are amazing. I mean, they were just simply the best lawns. That's the best lawn sound I've ever heard, and that's including the gorge. Okay, not that the gorge has great sound, but the gorge also is on a hill and it can get windy. This is the best lawn I've ever heard music from. As I walk out to "You Might Die Trying" um, here and check out that song from the lawn, and then sprint into my car to try to get out. But yeah, I mean this venue is amazing. And then the other thing is this venue, people got there early. Okay. The before the band even took the stage, the majority of the people were already in their seats. The lawn was full, and I can tell you there was traffic. All right. I call it the beltway, the bypass, whatever you want to call it. It is there's a lot of traffic today. People trying to get to and from. I'm sure people are coming from Chicago or as I did this morning, that they had issues getting there, especially later in the day. If you're coming from points north, northwest, east, west. This is like I know they say this is the city, the crossroads. I want to play some Bone Thugs and Harmony, right? Crossroads. But literally, this city shoots out. As a geography nerd, it's cool to see how this city shoots out to Louisville, shoots out to. You can even go down to Memphis if you wanted to. You can take a 57, go out, and then take 50, 70 to St. Louis and see your boy Nelly, right? Anyway, it's a really really cool setup with the highways. But this venue impressed me, and the crowd was amazing. The crowd was into it. The crowd definitely knows their stuff. The crowd was happy. They were joyful. Um, People were so excited to come to this show. And it wasn't to be snobs, it wasn't to cut people off. The parking lot is crazy, but even in the parking lot, people were letting each other go. That doesn't happen in the Northeast. Okay. The Northeast, you got people trying to cut each other off. Mansfield, some lady was telling the tour buses, they tell us to stop because they had to let the tour buses go. And some lady's trying to cuss out my friend driving in Massachusetts, like, hey, come on, get moving, man. Move your car. Like, girl, lady, shut up. Okay. My boy is being blocked by security, and he's not gonna bust out and hit the tour bus. Otherwise, then I'd definitely be like I'd be banned from the pit. Your boy wouldn't be in any pit photos. Anyway, this venue was awesome for a lot of different reasons. That I was very impressed with the energy. The tailgate was dope. They even had a little shakedown street. Going to my Dead and Company is in Chirac tonight. Shout out to Dead and Company. But going to some of the Dead and Company related events, um, seeing the shakedown, they literally got that shakedown, just like Fish and Dead and Company when they come to Deer Creek. I've heard they have the shakedown. They're known for their shakedowns streets there. They had one out there, and it was really dope. So that's my experience. Before I get into anything on my end, I do want to talk to a couple people. So first, we are going to bring on John, and then we'll get Mickey. Mickey, if you can hang tight. But let's bring on John.
Go tell them to watch it on YouTube.
John, what's
Hey,
up?
what's good, man? How you doing?
I'm living a dream, dreaming to live. So tell us about this show. You're a Deer Creek veteran, you're OG. You had your little tailgate spot set up with your crew. What'd you think about this show? No Tim CDC.
I loved it, man. I had a good time. I was a little sick throughout the show, but I mean, I pushed through. But the pig opener, what more can you? After pig opener, everything else was free money. It was house money after that. So I got the pig opener. Then they went into Granny. I was like, okay. We got Nancy's Warehouse, Graves, Gray Street. I mean, what else can you ask for? It was a great show for a DMB 4.0.
Absolutely. Um,
And we
so
had Coach Tim, so I could hear the guitars on Nancy's Warehouse, Graves. It was good to hear Dave's guitar.
absolutely, I had a campaign last year. Here, Dave's Guitar 2021, and here
Yeah.
we are. We heard, and of course, we go to the gorge together, right? And we heard Dave's guitar, and here we are, yet another year and another unique weekend with some changes to the format. Now, walk us through when did you notice that something was up as far as Tim and him not possibly being there?
Some people in my Discord server said they heard some inside news, I guess, that Tim wasn't going to be there. And I texted you around 3:30.
Yeah,
I was like, yeah, I'm hearing Tim's not going to be here tonight. And then we get into the show and Tim's not there. So, I mean, most of the people that I talk to, they're pretty reliable. So once I heard a couple people say it who I trust, I knew that it was a wrap for Tim. But you know what? It was a blessing in disguise because it was good to hear Dave's guitar again, man. I really enjoyed that. And I feel like Tim not being there took some things maybe off the table maybe for the weekend. But I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because we got Alpine and Spat coming up, and I like these little one-off different shows when maybe a band member, one or two, is missing from the set, and it gives us a different sound for 2022.
absolutely.
And the
Let
sound
me.
was pretty good tonight. The mix, because I was on the sax side, seventh row behind the pit, and it sounded really good. And then I moved to Upper Pavilion for a little bit with some friends. It sounded really good in the center. And then I walked out to the lawn. It sounded good out there. So the sound was really on point tonight. I felt like everything sounded more crisp. I don't know because Tim wasn't there, but you can definitely feel. I don't want to use the word hollow, but you can definitely hear his absence in the music, but it wasn't missed, if that makes sense.
Yes, yes, and even on Twitter, someone had said, "Hey, listening on Sirius XM, and it sounds different, not in a bad way, but it definitely sounds different here." So we have Preservation Hall Jazz Band. I know we talked about it before this show. Were you shocked that they still came on?
No, I wasn't shocked. I was actually I knew they were coming. I mean, we had got word early in the day that they were definitely a lock to come in, even before the Tim news had broke. I think I sent you a text about that earlier in the day.
Yeah,
That they were a lock to play tonight. I already knew they were going to play on That Girl Is You, and I didn't see them playing on Jimmy Thing. But I mean, it was okay. I'm not as you already know, I'm not a Preservation Hall jazz band fan. I don't like the sound that they have. I think it's messy. The sound sounds messy to me. All those horns blaring and stuff. It does nothing for me. But I understand why DMB brings them out because it gets the crowd hype. And when
yeah,
you're in that kind of setting, you're not. People are not really listening for the intricacies of the music anyway. When it comes to like those guests like that, anyway.
gotcha. And the reason I asked is you had given me that information that they were there. I thought potentially after you have a positive case, I thought that Preservation Hall jazz bands were like, wait, we don't make Dave Matthews Band money. If we get positive, right? Dave's already has the antibodies. You could argue that Rashawn allegedly has the antibodies. You could argue that potentially some of the other band members from late last year could have a better odds of not getting it. I thought maybe they weren't gonna show up simply because they don't want to then pass that to what Josh Groban, and if they pass that to Josh Groban, their cash flow is shut down.
Well,
And
we
and
don't
the,
know. Well, we don't know how they're doing their testing. I know Tool, they don't test at all. Like their stance is we got to figure this out and keep it pushing. Like Maynard has tested positive 4 times, and they haven't canceled any shows. He just treats it like a cold now, and so you never know what other bands' testing policies are. I'm pretty sure most bands are not testing every day like DMB is. I don't know if I'm pretty sure it's an insurance thing or something, or some kind of contract they have where they're probably doing it every day like that. But I don't think most bands are testing to the extent DMB is.
yeah, I do think it's the contract, and I think what Dave's saying, yeah, I'm sick of this. You know, he kind of said I'm sick of this COVID thing, and the crowd cheered. I think that if possible, and maybe this won't happen, but I think next year, listen, the whole band's now allegedly right. We do a process of elimination. The whole band has outside of maybe Buddy has gotten appears to have gotten it. I wonder if next year, if they can work it out, if DMB cares that much, maybe Dave tries to push and you say no, and he says whatever. But I think they'll try. I mean, I see them. I could see them trying to push to say, look, as long as nobody's sick, we gonna just keep playing. So
And that's the way it should be. If you're not sick, I mean, what's the point?
yeah,
At this,
absolutely.
at this point, I mean, I can understand if it was 2020, we don't have the information, we don't have the drugs, the vaccines, the meds now.
Right.
But at some point, we got to start treating this like the flu or the cold or whatever, because as we get more resources,
Yep.
you have to adapt and change. You just can't apply 2020 strategies in 2022.
Yeah, it's kind of like Lori Harvey or one of the Kardashian chicks. At this point, if you're simping for one of them and then you realize that you got burned, you got hurt, it's on you, fam.
Yeah,
Okay, it's on you. No one told you to simp. They already belong to the streets. Okay, the boulevards, the avenues, and at this point, hey, it's on you. So I
right.
agree 100%. Y'all, I bet y'all didn't see that analogy coming. So we also, to me, one of my concerns. Let me know if you feel this way. The only thing that, or not the only thing, but one of the things I didn't like is some of the horn parts from Rashawn. I thought they relied on the horns and from Preservation Hall Jazz Band. It was sometimes where for the first time this tour, two shows down before this, Rashawn was kind of chill. But those like the horns were, I was like, let's let Buddy do his little effects, which I know some people may not like, some people may like it, but
I liked
to,
him on Graves. I like that effects he used on Graves.
I did too. I know some people just are never gonna like it like that. They're gonna
Yeah,
still be mad.
Boyd
But
stands.
yeah, I just thought that I'd hope that tomorrow they don't overcompensate on trumpet, even if it's just Rashawn, because it really Preservation Hall Jazz Band for as loud as they can be, it was really Rashawn going into that upper register for the first time this year. The first two shows, I was high with them. I was really starting to, this is what's kind of bittersweet. I was really starting to appreciate, like, okay, Tim is definitely changing. It seems like it was more Boyd that made him turn up. He was turned down 21, 22. I feel bad because I was just starting to get used to Tim actually having the right mix. And I was just starting to be like, oh, Rashawn is, at least the shows I went to, he didn't seem too out of place. And some of that tonight I thought was like I would just say is a place for improvement to be like, listen, we don't need this trumpet blasting the master blaster jamming on the high registers.
Yeah, I agree, man. I don't like all that the blaring of the saxes and I'm not a big Preservation Jazz Hall fan. But overall, man, it was a great show for 2022. Like I said, once they played Pig and Granny, I mean everything out there that was house money,
Yep.
and we got Break Free,
Yep. The
which
first break free at the venue, which is a wild stat for Deer Creek, which has been one of those venues that has stood the test of time for a 2-night stand. But that was the first time it was played. I was kind of shocked by that.
and I enjoy Break Free. I feel like people are getting spoiled on it now because it's not getting that pop that it did in Texas. And so, but just as soon as they pull it out, they can put it back in the vault for another 10 years. So people need to appreciate these songs, some of these songs. So uh, I really like getting Break Free. I can get that every night. I enjoyed the Gray Street. The Trippin' Billies was nice. It was a solid set. And if you look at it, we got what, 6 under the table driven songs, 3 busted stuff songs. It was a well balanced set. It wasn't too heavy on anything. It covered all the the eras of D&B. And what more can you ask for? I mean, people like Mark and them were saying it was like the second worst show they've ever been to. And I'm like, how can you say that a show that opened with Pig and Granny is the worst? Can you hear that?
Yeah, tell them to stop cussing. This is a family show.
Yeah.
Don't
So
tell them
yeah, I'm
that.
gonna cut it short because I don't want to mess up your algorithm. But
Yeah, yeah.
but like when you have a show that starts with Pig and Granny and then they play and you have a well balanced set like that, there's no way that people are just unreasonable expectations, and you're
That
setting yourself up to hate the show before you even starts.
yeah. That's the thing is this gave people a little bit of everything. I mean, they still played She, right? Is that my favorite song? Absolutely not. But they played it and the crowd reacted to it. They played Can't
People were
Stop.
crazy for that girl issue. The casuals love that song.
Yeah. And every girl thinks it's them. Every woman, every
Yeah,
so
you and
it's
me.
it's
That's the reception wedding song. Won't hear it at
y-
my wedding, but I mean, people go crazy with that song.
yeah, yeah. I'm not respectfully. My wedding will not have you and me. It
No,
may have I'll back you up there, but I ain't backing up you and me.
no.
But yeah, and what's funny was, and this is not to knock this couple. There's a couple in front of me, right? And they seemed like they knew their stuff. They were DMB fans, right? They went. Pig comes out. And this, I think, this is what's cool about this venue. Um, Pig comes on. They knew that, right? Break free. Like they knew all the deep cuts. They knew all the hits. But when you and me came on, right? They held hands, right? And it was kind of like it was. This is the perception I got of Deer Creek is these people love the deep cuts. Like I thought they were gonna play So Right. I thought when they played Break Free, they were gonna play So Right or Fool to Think, or I thought they would play again a So Right. I think we'll get it tomorrow.
Yeah,
But I thought like, okay, this is what we're gonna get. But no matter like a lot of the fans, regardless of the set list, they appreciated everything, but they still knew the deep cuts. And I don't think I've ever seen that. Like even at SPAC, I don't. Yes, you and me does get a reaction, but the fact that you have the crowd here was very energetic yet calm, right? They weren't wilding out, right? Everyone was having fun in their own little bubble, and everyone was open to helping other people, and I really think that's dope. And I've heard some of this, but to experience it was awesome, and even the people who fly in, because I know not everyone lives here, but the vibes here tonight were awesome. The show, it gave a unique perspective. Um, just like you said with the guitar, they gave a unique perspective. I even wasn't like, even if they played Watchtower, I was going to look forward to that Watchtower with just Dave. So no matter like what they were gonna play, and even whatever they play tomorrow, we're gonna get a special show and a special weekend here as we look tonight too.
most definitely. I'm looking forward to tomorrow night. See what they bring out.
All right. Well, thank you, John, for being on. We'll try to check in with you tomorrow. Thank you for your whole crew that's out there holding it down, the tapers, the 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 day one warehouse fans, all the people that you know and gather with. And they're a big part of this community, and they are appreciated, especially giving us some of the details about what was going on behind the scenes.
Thank you, brother. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, peace.
All right.
All right, Mickey, are you still Mickey? If you can come, let me see. And Connor, I'm gonna get you a link. Mickey, we'll try to get you in if you want to try to rejoin. And then let me get to Connor on Instagram. So let me see some of the comments while we're waiting for this. Oh, John Woodbury, what up, John? Hope. Oh, that's Connor. John, hope you're doing well. I was talking about you to Shane aka Mile High Dad. I met up with Mile High Dad um earlier in the day, and it was awesome, man. Like he's just as cool as thought he would. Angie, his wife, shout out to her, Shane and Angie Whitford. They're just awesome people. We're just sitting in the line, like it was so much fun just talking to so many of you guys. Even some of you guys who may not comment on here and say, "Hey, I like the stream." I really appreciate it. I just like my goal was to create a space for y'all. This space is for you guys to give me your opinions, and this helps me to learn more about the fan base. Helps me to learn because I believe in different perspectives. Let's see what else. Oh, Seth, this was your 11th Deer Creek show. I wanted to get Mickey, and this was Mickey's 150th DMB show. So Mickey, if you're watching the replay, shout out to you because that's a lot of shows. 150, one for each original Pokemon that came in the game. So that's awesome. And Mickey, it was nice to meet you. You came to my section. You said what's up, and it was fun. Was it Tony C? Thanks so much for the pig video. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I struggled, and shout out to the people behind me. They were cool. Uh, they they were very cool and laid back, and I was trying to get this. I was trying to capture that, right. If I had one shot, one opportunity. But the way the seats are set up in the back of Deer Creek, I didn't realize until everyone stood up. You never know until everyone stands up. And people like there was like it was like they weren't massively taller than me, but some of the sight lines, even if I without my phone up, I had trouble seeing the full stage, but I still had a great time. I love that 1-2, the Pig Granny 1-2 punch, and then Walk Around the Moon, Break Free. The first four songs, straight fire, straight fire. Yeah, that's all I gotta say on that. Let me sorry. I just realized it's 12:38. Let me try to keep it down a little bit. I'm gonna lower my voice a little because I'm in a hotel. Um, Connor, the sound was great. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Let me see if I can get it to you, Connor. Let's see. Let's see, Connor. Message. Hold on. Give me 1 second, folks, and thank you guys for staying tuned. Yeah, I just realized I felt like I was at my crib. I got a little too loud. I need to use my indoor voice. Um, let's see. All right, let's see. Let's see. What else? Seth says Northern Island. Northern Island was awful as well. Deer Creek Lawn is one by far my favorites. And then we have shout out to Luke. Luke said the Blossom Lawn is awesome. Lawn was considerably more crowded. I see the thing with Deer Creek is I've heard the lawn is it's known for being crowded. I've seen some of the overhead drone shots that they've had over the years, and he messaged me and yeah, the E1 spot. Did I say that? I figured with I don't want to go too much into that whole thing. Um, listen, obviously there's a big decision the Supreme Court. That's something that obviously is just right now, obviously big for everyone, regardless of where you come from, on that stance. But obviously, Dave wanted to play tribute to give his opinion on the whole situation, and he did. He did it in a way that wasn't like straight up angry and hateful, but I think he wanted to just kind of, that was his way of doing it. Let's see. What else does Seth say? I was at Gore's 2021, had ticks for Oklahoma 2021, West Palm Beach 22, Deer Creek 22. Feel like I'm hardly seeing any shows not impacted by COVID at this point. So Seth, yeah, you've been around some of the tough ones. Gorge, I was there. Obviously, Oklahoma was canceled. So sorry that you weren't able to experience that, because I think that would have been a very special, unique show. Obviously, Chelsea, the Chelsea at the Cosmopolitan was in 2020, but after that, they were trying to add that type of feeling in Oklahoma, and they weren't able to do that. Luke says, "How was the show? The show was dope, but the environment. I'm realizing some of you guys you guys have been doing what I'm doing, 25 years ago, 30 years ago. Some of you guys started going to these venues 30 years ago, right? Going to some of these venues, and I'm just doing it. And I think the biggest takeaway from me is it's very when you go to these venues, you really learn about the different parts of the country. Um, and that's what I'm doing right now, and it's important. And one thing I still remember, shout out to, was it Greg? Greg pointed out, because I kind of was, when I came into the YouTube game, I came out hot out of the gate, and I kind of was like, you know, the Northeast is the center of the DMB universe, right? And I was like, this venue and that venue, and nothing could mess with SPAC, and nothing can mess with Hartford, and da 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 da. I know they have good sets at Alpine, all that stuff, but still, it's this and that. But now that I'm going to the shows, now listen, it's not even about the set list; it's about the environments, man. Like, I really like the different types of environments of Dave Matthews Band fans across the country, and to see that, to physically be there, is something that I strongly recommend. I know some of you guys are trying to go to the Gorge. Listen, economy's crazy right now. Gas is up, but if you can make it work, make it work. Obviously, hey, put that money into your retirement too. Listen, your boy Constable 34 didn't say forget retirement, forget your emergency fund, right? Don't live paycheck to paycheck and be buying Dave tickets. I don't agree with that either. Um, but if you got some extra money, if you're blessed to have even someone give you a free ticket, um, go, go. Because this is really cool, and this is really giving me a lot of perspective. And that's why I started this show in this format, right? I used to just come on and talk about the set list, and I wasn't going to shows, but now I'm going to the show. I'm hitting up one of you guys to talk about the show, because when you're here, when you're in the building, it's different. Let's see the other comments that we have. Crowd was fire tonight. This was my 35th or so show at Deer Creek. Crowd is always fire. That's awesome, Ron. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, this is so true. This is the thing, that you had 23,000 fans singing this song on the top of their lungs, and that's what was special about here. And it happens in SPAC, but like the whole lawn is a whole vibe here. I know the SPAC lawn fills up too, but it's something about the way this lawn was set up, that the sight lines, the way it's set up, everyone had their little crew. People were dancing across the walkway, which happens at a lot of shows, but it was crazy. So Seth says, hopefully some before these crash sheets heavy set tomorrow. Stone, Dreaming Tree, Rapunzel, all likely. That would be cool. That'd be cool. I mean, you could do those songs without an electric guitar. So those are actually set. Those are perfect songs to bring out. Because even what's interesting, I don't think they could. They're not going to play the last stop tomorrow. They're not even gonna like songs like Minarets and The Last Stop. They kind of need Tim at this as much as I say like, hey, I want him on acoustic. Those songs kind of do need Tim. I mean, obviously you would take him out, Tim, right? But the Stone, Dreaming Tree especially, because that's driven by Stefan. Actually, that's one of my favorite bass lines from the band is Stefan on Dreaming Tree. So they could run that without let's see. Andrew says Toronto the other night was my 15th show, but my first in 12 years. I'm a completely rejuvenated DMV fan. Setlist is fire, and this is awesome to hear too because I think it's important to try to give this band a taste. And what's interesting, Andrew, my first show was 10 years ago. Been a fan since 05 ish. Started going to shows in 2012, and so that was 10 years ago. And I think that I can understand because listen, I wasn't an OG fan, and I loved him for like the first show and a half, and then I was like, yo, he's too loud. So I get that too, even as a newer fan, but you got to give this band a chance, and when you do, I mean, what this band's doing in the last year, they're doing some phenomenal stuff. It's different, right? It's different if you have an open mind, and if you don't like it, don't go. Like that's the thing is that's what I've learned too. I mean, there's certain songs you guys know I don't like. Can't Stop. Okay, you guys know that I really don't like Can't Stop. But you know, as much as I don't like Can't Stop, I get that that's what they're gonna play, and I deal with it, right? Shane, hi from Indiana. Hey Shane, be careful. Be careful. What's Indiana? No, no, no. Shane is sober. All right, Shane. Listen, Shane, this is a Colorado. You gotta be careful out here. Okay? Shane, listen. It was nice. It was nice hanging with you, but listen, we're not gonna say nothing, right? We just gotta be careful in Indiana, okay? Mike Pence might smack you with a Bible. um, Now let's see. So Shane says Saturday line is more crowded than Friday. That's the gist of it. It'd be interesting to see this crowd. Yeah, and that makes sense because you have a lot of locals don't go to Friday shows because they're working, they're busy. But that Saturday show, people got it off. Most people have it off. Obviously, people do work weird hours, but that Saturday show, you're gonna have a majority of the people, and people are gonna be home. That's one thing I've learned also over the years. Especially me being an adult. Like there'll be certain stuff on Fridays I may not go to because I'm trying to sleep. Right, I'm trying to sleep in. So, but a Saturday, like for instance, like Jazz Fest, or things like at the riverfront in Hartford, right? Or the Bushnell. If it's a Friday show, midweek show is hit or miss. If it's not freaking Alexander Hamilton himself from the grave, playing on a Wednesday, I don't typically go to like something at the theater at the Bushnell. But if it's a Saturday night thing, like it's on and popping because I could sleep Saturday morning, I could sleep Friday night, and then I can go to stuff. So, um, just yeah. You know what's crazy is this is to some extent the uppers. I said, listen, I just wanted to be in the pavilion. I was like 3 rows from the lawn, and honestly, if I were to do it again, I'd probably just get the lawn. You're paying $95 versus plus fees versus 50 something. I feel like the uppers it's hard to see over, and the way these amphitheaters were set up, they were set up to fill up, fill as many seats as possible in a certain oval, like half semicircle type setup. um but some of these amphitheaters, they should be a little bit more like allow you to see over the people in front of you, That's the one thing about arena shows, and that's actually why I like arena shows a little more. At an arena show, typically, barring someone who's freakishly tall, you can kind of see over people that are in front of you. And there's also a different angle, sight line angle for those shows. But some of the like the back of Deer Creek and even like Mansfield is the same way. If you look at my Mansfield video, like I had to really get up there. So that looks solid. I really did not think the pig get the opener spot. Open night one, Deer Creek 2018 was also pig. See, I actually picked once I knew that Tim was out. I picked pig because that's one of those songs that. And listen, I could have been wrong too, right? They could have did One Sweet World. They could have did whatever. What made me think they were gonna pick pig is first of all the message of pig. Right? There's bad times, but that's okay. And I know it's like don't burn the day. Like, listen, we don't have Tim, but we're not gonna burn the day away. Okay. That's why I thought they were gonna play. And again, I'm the first person to say when you think there's gonna be a certain opener, you either, a lot of times it's just a luck, right? Or it's just common sense. But I think what they did was I think I wouldn't have thought Pig would have been the opener if Tim was there. I would have thought Pig would have been a tour debut here today or tomorrow, but I thought, okay, this is a song where you have Buddy playing the strings. You don't need an electric guitar per se. And that's what I thought was going to be the main driver for this show. And in some ways it was, right? Granny is a song driven by Dave. Walk Around the Moon is driven by Dave. Break Free is a song that you don't need that extra electric guitar. Jimmy Thing is a sax showcase. That Girl Is You, no electric guitar. What would you say? Gray Street, Where Are You Going? These are really acoustic based songs. Grace Is Gone. Tripping Billies, you don't need Tim. You and May, you don't need Tim. Nancy's and Warehouse. I mean, Tim is there because there's no violin, but Where Are You Going? Now, She's a song that you have some of Tim's parts that complement it, but still, I mean, you can get away with it. Lion Our Graves. Again, the only reason that Lion Our Graves is so critical with Tim Heavy now is because there's no fiddle. You can have Buddy play the piano, and really, the piano. And listen, I love what Tim does with Lion Our Graves now. I'll be the first to say that. I love what he does. Like I was very blown away, and that's what again makes this tough that he wasn't there. Tim has won me over with his electric guitar. You guys know how I've spoken about Tim in the past and Rashawn in the past, and I just, as much as I respect this band and respect their talent, and really I love this band, but if there's a couple of things I could tweak, it would be that trumpet and it'd be the electric guitar. And Tim has, to his credit, totally flipped the switch. He's been using a lot more of a low end bass sound, a lot more of a crunch rock sound that is uh, it blends much better than what it used to be. Even Ants Marching is not a song that needs electric guitar. Again, it's something that Tim stepped up on. You Might Die Trying, same thing. Great acoustically. So many people went down tonight. So, oh, interesting. So maybe that's, every perspective is different. I think that heat was a big thing. I didn't, and who I can't remember who it was. Someone offered me a beer. I appreciate the offer. I respectfully declined because I was listen. It wasn't humid. If you guys weren't here, it wasn't humid. I was actually shocked, and I know it gets humid here in the summer because I've talked. I know I have family and friends that live in the Midwest. I know you're so far from a lake. I mean, there's obviously creeks. I saw the creeks for Deer Creek, which was cool. But when you're not, you don't get that ocean like Chicago gets that ocean breeze. But that doesn't go down to Indianapolis. Maybe Gary, Indiana gets a little bit of a ocean lake effect breeze, but um, it was a blessing that it was dry heat. Even the heat, there was no heat index. Now I know again, you have those even in the Northeast. That's what's crazy about summer. If you live in the South, just know the Northeast. Now it's not as bad as the South is, but The humidity gets up to the Northeast, it gets up to the Midwest. Actually, the Midwest to me is the worst because they get the crazy snow and the humidity and the tornadoes. Minnesota, Illinois, Indiana are all susceptible, and some parts of Oklahoma are all susceptible to snow, ice, and crazy weather like that. Plus, they can get a tornado in the spring. It's a crazy part of the country, but nice part of the country, and I enjoyed being down here. Um, wouldn't be surprised if more drop tomorrow. Saturday's lineup even more crazy. Yeah, I think that's always a factor. It's just something that I've kind of gotten used, like you kind of numb. Oh, I did think of this, Greg. Yeah, so I put that in one of the tweets. I thought Joe Lawler would be a guest at some point, like a rhyme and reason, a cornbread. I'm glad they didn't play cornbread, the song I don't like, but it doesn't. Why don't? And you might ask why I don't like cornbread. I don't. I feel like the song doesn't go anywhere. Now, again, I understand why it's popular, right? It's a really uh, it's a hype up song, but I just feel like it doesn't take me anywhere. Like a What You Are takes me somewhere. A cornbread just goes that's all it is. And I know there's the B part of that song and then there's a C part of the song as well. That like I get that, but I just never been a cornbread fan. Um, Andrew says I don't like Can't Stop either. Also don't like Do You Remember She? Come on. Yeah. And that's the thing about this year. That's what's been emblematic about the last 2 years. There's songs that I'm not a huge fan of that I listen to and I'm like, you know what? They're killing this song in a good way, right? They're doing their thing. Bayou. Listen, that Bayou set closer, Mansfield, they nailed it. I just don't like the verses. I think it should be a jam. My personal opinion, but I'm aware enough to understand that people love it. Oh, John. Oh, that's your home venue. Listen, I love it. Now, the only thing I'll say is the parking situation. Like, I ran to my car right as they ended the song, "You Might Die Trying," and I was able to kind of beat a lot of the traffic, which is I was fortunate. But the parking situation, like getting out of that place, is a mess, and I'm sure obviously you pay for parking, but and it gets better. Now I will say they had a nice system. Once you get out of the lots, oh yeah, yeah. So not let me start in the lots. They have people directing traffic. I've seen that at Guilford, but you don't like Mansfield doesn't do like they do have it, but Mansfield is still a free for all. Uh, Deer Creek had people at every step of the way showing you how to get out, and they had it like a lot of times like Mansfield will have it at once you get out of the premier lot, they'll have someone there. Deer Creek had people in like the rows, like saying, "Hey, nah, this way, go this way." So it was very helpful as an out of towner. Um, I will say, driving around Indianapolis, this is a Midwest thing. I this is my first time driving in the Midwest. Last time I was in the Midwest, the NCAA Kansas City Regional. Actually, rest in power to was it Caleb Swanigan. I actually saw him in 2017 in the Sweet 16 with Purdue. This is crazy. He passed away, and also Adrian Payne. I saw him in the Sweet 16 in New York versus UConn. So there's been two players I've seen, and I've only been to a couple of Sweet 16s, to Kansas City and to New York. One player from each of those regionals has passed away. That's like in this year, in the last 2 months. Adrian Payne and Caleb Swanigan. Rest in power to both of those young men. They were young. They were both younger than me, and I don't want to get too much into it, but rest in peace to them. Just very sad. Um, so the Deer Creek tracker was 100 times worse 10 years ago. I do see, and I got to give Hartford credit. Now Hartford, a lot of this is more the safety thing. They have officers all the way to downtown just to help with the crosswalks and make you feel safe because Hartford in certain parts isn't well lit. But when you have those officers, they're very friendly. They do a great job of picking officers that have that charisma to work and to talk to people and have a good, just help people cross, making sure the cars are respecting pedestrians. But I do see Mansfield and I do see, I don't know who to credit. I don't know if you credit, I mean, you could argue you could credit Live Nation because they're the ones who are controlling these venues. Obviously, Fiddlers is AXS, Des Moines, Iowa is AXS, and you have Riverbend is not owned by Live Nation, although they have Live Nation as the primary ticketing uh, you know, vendor. So, um, yeah, that's what I think. Also, I will say one thing that impacted this show for me is that I'm exhausted right now. Um, I flew in today. I flew in and I drove 3 hours. It wasn't like I didn't go into Indy. So I drove 3 hours to get there, and I'm exhausted. At the end of the show too, I was a little tired. Got back to the hotel safe, but um, that's why you fly in night zero. I was fortunate enough my flight was not canceled. I flew on a Friday. If you guys are planning trips, some of you guys know this, the veterans know this, but if you're newer or you're trying to figure out, all right, I've been to all these, I've been to every SPAC show since 2003. Let me try to go out and go to Deer Creek. I will say try to fly in the night before, the day before, or if you can. I'm hearing this a lot. There's things going around social media, but some of this is true. If you can drive, drive. Even if you have to split up the drive because the flights right now are extremely high and they are being canceled. If you have a connecting flight, it is the scariest thing right now because even if you like create 3 to 4 hours in between your layover, things are still going wrong. So, um, let's see if I'm missing anything. Let's see. Oh, the warehouse. Oh, another thing I will say, I wish the warehouse was a stop time intro. I know it was Nancy's in the warehouse, but it would have been cool if it was a stop time intro. People were trying to do the woos to kind of see if it would influence Dave. It did not. He did the traditional intro, the studio intro of it. Um, what else? I think that's it. Let's see if I have. Okay, the mid 2000s, dude. All right, so let's see what he's saying. Something had to be said about it. Appreciate a home venue getting so much travel anxiety that shows may be canceled, flights may be canceled. I'll get stuck somewhere with COVID the last couple of years. Yeah, this is something, and I'll say this, I know some people that are only going to a local venue because of this. It is, and I know people have different views on, the 19, the C19, but there's still a lot of anxiety. And even if, again, I've said this from the jump of all these debates, and when it comes to the DMV community and the C19, we can say whatever we want. We can say we disagree. Even Dave said today he's sick of it. There's a contract written up. There's protocol in the event somebody catches the C19. They have to follow that contract, otherwise it'd be breach of contract. So wherever that was, whatever was agreed upon to get them paid, to get the deal done, They have to honor that. Now that could be amended or changed next year, but you could say all this stuff. Oh, they're not. No one's been in the hospital from the band, right? No one. Da da da. Doesn't matter. It's a contract. A contract is a contract is a contract. So um, you say feel so much more relaxed at Deer Creek. No, no, I'll just drive home after. I mean, and that's a good point because, like I said, I was listen. I'm not even gonna lie. Um, Driving the bypass, was it 465 bypass? It was very, very like intense, especially on the way back at night. Driving at night is the older I get. I think it's a vision thing, but driving at night is just like is whack. Um, you can make up so much time when it's nighttime, but sometimes I just like driving during the day because like the the way that the beltway is set up in Indianapolis, and I guess everywhere, but we don't have. See, Connecticut was supposed to have back beltways, but like all the projects got canned. Long story short, so the fact that the highway keeps splitting. Oh, Seth does say 465 is the worst road around here for what it's worth. Yeah. I mean, bypasses are interesting, and essentially a bypass is just, when you have that circular highway around a city, what it does, you can bypass downtown, use that, go around and continue down to St. Louis, continue down to Illinois without having to go through downtown. This is especially important when you have a NCAA Final Four, when you have a Colts football game or something like that. You can bypass downtown traffic and go around. The fake is 55. Yeah, yeah. I try to like see what other people are doing driving wise before I try to do so. If I see like no one's going past 50, 55, I try not to touch that. What's interesting about some of the other parts of the country, out the Northeast, our speed limit says 65. You can go 80 if you want to. Now, sometimes you get pulled over if the conditions aren't right, but um, other parts of the country, if you have an out-of-state license tag, like your rental car is a different tag or they have it like completely different, they will go for you. Down south, they have all sorts of traps in the Atlanta area. You better go to speed limit because they're gonna trap you. Baltimore, I mean, was it Anne Arundel County, Prince George's County, and some of the other rural counties in Maryland, they have the lights that if you go through a yellow light, they can take a picture of you. They had that for over a decade or over 20 years. They've had that type of stuff. So anyway, that is all for tonight. We'll definitely have some more Deer Creek tomorrow. I need to get some sleep. I need to shower and get some sleep. But thank you guys for being on. If this is your first time watching this, this is a stream that I do after every show to talk about the show. When I'm not at the show, like next year, if I'm not at Deer Creek, I'm gonna call Seth. I'm gonna call Mickey was supposed to be on, but listen, it was late. Like I get it. It was like 12:30 when and John was, doing his thing, and Mickey, we'll try to get you on if we can tomorrow. If you're going to, I'm sure you're going tomorrow. You're not gonna just you've been 150 shows. You're not just going to Deer Creek night one. But this stream, when I'm not at a show, we get feedback from people at a show. If I can also just let me see if we can get to Twitter because this was awesome here. So if you guys see this photo, so to the far left is Zach. Zach has been on this show. Some of you guys who are newer may have not seen Zach, but he was on this show to talk about some taping things. And listen, this show, some of the information I get, the insight I get, I will say that the insight is from people like Zach who give me like they have a lot of knowledge of this band about how they intake, like he's a taper, so he knows about the sound, the different things, the different venues, what's good venues, what's bad venues, right? To the right of me, so going across, you see me in the blue shirt. That's Tom. So he's not a taper, but he's awesome. Shout out to, yeah, I believe that's Tom, right? That's got to be. I think that. Sorry, I think I'm. I think that's. Is that? And but to the far right, that's Mark, and Mark has been awesome too. He's also a Lincoln Park fan. I'm a huge Lincoln Park fan. Um. Oh, Mickey, you're gonna come on tomorrow. Okay, we'll bring you on tomorrow. It may be a little later too. So just because, like for instance, today I think someone's gonna give me a ride tomorrow. I'm getting the Hoosier Hospitality. There was some they had to pick up someone from the airport. It was gonna be too close to showtime potentially, so they said, drive. I drove in today myself, but they're gonna be on. What was I gonna say? But what was I saying about Mark? Lincoln Park, I can't remember. Let's see. Just want to see, make sure. All right. Yeah, for here we can rest safely. Shout out to Dave Matthews, One Sweet World, Dave Matthews Band. I'm a rest safely and like really well tonight. And I am your boy is beat. I'm beat like the Toronto Maple Leafs. Okay. Um, I feel defeated like Vanderbilt football every year. I feel like Kansas football trying to find that coach that's really gonna bring them over the top. Oh man. Shout out to Mike, Mickey. Mickey was talking. We were talking about football and college sports for a little bit during the encore break. Shout out to Mickey. Nice to meet you today, my friend. Anyway, shout out. This was awesome, and I got to go down with them. They wouldn't let us go down to the lower level, and we were just trying to talk to another table. We weren't trying to do anything else. But we got denied. We got blocked. Because was it Zach was trying to introduce me to a new taper. So, or not a new taper, a veteran taper who decided to come back in the game. That was really cool. Yeah. Time does not matter. I'm on with thank you, Mickey. Appreciate that. It's hard doing these from it's hard doing these and then leaving the venue and doing it. Like it's easier just to sit here, not go to the show, but then interview some of you guys coming from the show. But that's why I appreciate when you guys come on the show because when I'm leaving these venues, traffic and distance and all that stuff. So, all right, yeah, let me shut this down. It's 1:15 a.m. and what we gonna do? Oh, did these videos come out? Oh, they didn't load. I had some really cool videos from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, which I went to today, which was awesome. I think this one. That's Grace is gone. Okay, so we'll end on. All right, we're gonna end this. So, listen, life is so good. I've had break free. Can you, like, I can't. Oh, let me look at the camera, guys. Okay, life is good when you get break free, two consecutive shows in a row. I went to Hartford Saturday. You know what happened Saturday? I got break free for the first time. I go to Deer Creek Night One. That's the next show. that I would go to, which was now last night because it's Saturday, and I get break free again. The first break free ever at Deer Creek. So I have caught break free more times than an entire legendary venue in this band's history. I have more break frees. This reminds me of when Tyler Olander won 2 national championships, and he has more national championships head to head than Carmelo Anthony. He has more national championships head to head than Jim Boeheim. Jim Boeheim has less national championships than Tyler Olander, who has 2. That's right. He has 2 national titles. So that's a joke. It's a joke. That's how we troll Syracuse basketball fans. Is Shane, you need a break for it. Hopefully you get it tomorrow. I would love to hear that again. But we're gonna end with the bats and sessions break free. Again, thank you guys for watching this content. Tell your friends about it. I want this community to grow for the fact that, listen, DMB fans are awesome, and we all just like. I think this is a thing that can include everyone. Everyone is welcome to come on. You got to go to the show, right? I ain't just gonna keep bringing you on. You talking from home? I could do that. I could talk from home. But if you're at the show, we would love to hear from you. And again, if you like You and Me, even though I don't like the song, if you like other stuff, I think that's what makes this great. Is there's different reasons people like. Deb told me. Shout out to Deb. I met Deb and Sandy and not Sam. Uh, we call it Granny, right? Granny Jones, right? They're awesome. These are awesome women that just are. They love DMB, and I was able to finally meet them today for the first time in real life, and it was awesome. And Deb heard You and Me, and that's why she's a fan. She's been to 70 something shows since 2012, right? I thought I was pushing it. This was my number 36 show. This was show number 36. Honey, honey, come and dance with me, honey. Oh, check this out. Hold on. Not honey, honey. Honey bucket, come and dance with me. Um, as Michael said, the break freeze with Roy. Oh my gosh, yeah, those break freeze with Roy were amazing. I agree. Let's see. Yeah, so we're gonna do a break for. We're gonna end with break for it, and then we'll call it a show. But stay tuned tomorrow. Tomorrow, your boy be Conservative 34 will be back home. If we'll talk to some people. I'm gonna get Mickey on for sure, and then we'll talk to some other people as well. Share your thoughts on Deer Creek Night 2. All right, this is the closeout song, Batson Sessions, Spring 2006 session from April of 2006. Break for it. Oh no, break free. No, break free. Yeah, sorry, I'm mixing. I need to go to bed. But break for it is not what I meant. Break free, because that's what we heard tonight. All right, break free. Here we go. Hey, hold up. Y'all need to hit that like button. Hit the like button. Yeah, you. I'm looking at you. You didn't hit the like button. Hit the like button. Break free from hate and hit the like button.